Yeah, so look, I think from a external perspective, we had a big challenge in terms of commodity prices going up. And as you know, India is a big oil importer, so that was affecting India in terms of inflation as well as current account deficit. So that's now faded. But we still have the challenge that DM growth is slowing. We expect it to slow further, and that will have an impact on India's external demand and exports. So the external environment is still not that supportive. But our view on India is that it is actually at a position where it has tailwinds from structural as well as cyclical factors, and it will help India outperform in still not so great an external environment.
And Chetan, just seconding that view, I mean, activity in India, and we're looking at all macro indicators here, is actually holding up pretty well, right? With the GDP now also above expectations. RBI clearly made their point that they're pretty much in pause mode. But what could be the economic impact in India? What I wanted to understand is, what is your sense on the FY24 GDP number, considering that now we're working with a higher base?
So we expect, I'm looking at the numbers on a calendar year basis, and for 23 and 24, we expect average GDP growth for India to be closer to 6.5%. Yes, it's a higher base, but we do see that the momentum in the activities has picked up quite nicely. So two key numbers I will cite here. If you look at services PMI, it's close to 13-year high. If you look at manufacturing PMI, it's close to about 11-year high. So the momentum in the activity has really strengthened, and it's all reflected out of the strength in domestic demand. So we are seeing consumption now broadening out. Initially, it was largely services after we reopened last year in April 2022. And it's now transitioning towards more balanced recovery in consumption with goods and services coming together. And the investment line is also picking up. It was somewhat unbalanced in form of the fact that public sector Capex was picking up, but the private sector was holding back. And now we are seeing that the private sector Capex is also picking up. So there's a broadening out of domestic demand recovery that's reflected in various sectoral data points.